to Adullam, a space for hidden seasons, for questions we whisper to God but rarely say out loud. Today's question is not loud, it's honest. Does prayer actually work, or was God already ready? Sometimes prayer feels powerful. Other times it feels like timing just happened to align. Because you prayed, something shifted, but then the doubt comes. Was it my prayer, or was it just God's time anyway? This episode is not an attempt to convince you, it's a think aloud, a slow walk through scripture, reason, and the nature of God. Because the Bible never treats prayer as magic, and it never treats God as reactive. So let's sit in the tension. Prayer is not informing God. Prayer is not persuading a reluctant deity. Prayer is not bending heaven to human will. Scripture says, known to God are all his works from eternity. That is Acts 15:18. God is not surprised by outcomes, so prayer cannot be about updating him. That alone raises the question: if God already knows, already plans, already sees the end, what role does prayer actually play? The Bible presents a God who is sovereign but also relational. Consider this. Look at 2 Chronicles 16:9. The eyes of the Lord range throughout the earth to strengthen those whose hearts are fully committed to him. That verse implies response without implying ignorance. God is not waiting to learn, he is choosing when and how to act. Prayer does not change God's nature, but scripture suggests it does participate in God's decisions. This is uncomfortable for logical minds because it suggests a mystery rather than a formula. Here's a verse rarely quoted in modern prayer discussions. You do not have because you do not ask God. James 4:2. That verse does not say you do not have because it was not time. It places absence and asking in direct relationship. Another one is Isaiah 45:11. Concerning the work of my hands, command me. This is not arrogance, it is covenant language. God invites participation without surrendering authority. So prayer is not about forcing timing, but about alignment. This is where many believers quietly struggle, because sometimes you pray for years and the answer came when you stopped praying. Other times you prayed once and everything shifted quickly. Scripture does not give us a checklist, but it gives us patterns. One pattern is this: Isaiah 65:24. Before they call, I will answer. While they are still speaking, I will hear. This suggests that God's readiness and prayer can overlap. Prayer is not always the trigger. Sometimes it is the agreement. Psalm 34:4 says, I sought the Lord and he answered me. He delivered me from all my fears. Notice the emphasis is not on timing but on response. The assurance comes less from clocks and more from peace. What if it was both? Here's a thought many avoid but scripture allows. What if God had a time and prayer was how you were prepared to receive it? What if prayer did not speed God up but positioned you correctly? Proverbs 16:1 says, the preparation of the heart belongs to man, but the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. That verse, it holds both responsibility and sovereignty. Prayer shapes perception. Prayer matures trust. Prayer trains discernment. So, even if the moment was set, prayer determined how you entered it. Prayer does not always change situations, but it almost always changes posture. Psalm 77:2 says, in the day of my trouble I sought the Lord. My soul refused to be comforted. Sometimes prayer is not rewarded with answers but with honesty, and scripture allows that. God does not only respond to faith, he responds to sincerity. So, does prayer work, or does God already ready? The Bible does not force us to choose. Prayer is not leverage, it is relationship. God is not waiting for words, but He listens when they come. And sometimes, the greatest evidence that prayer mattered is not the outcome, but the way you can now carry it. This has been our Adullam, a space for hidden seasons and unfiltered questions before God. If this episode gave language to a thought you've carried quietly, stay with us. You are not faithless for asking. You are present. Until next time, bye for now.